You do
Okay,
always forget.
always. All right. It seems like bodybuilding is a very expensive sport slash hobby. Can you really bodybuild, quote unquote, on a budget?
Good question. And hey, Drew, what's going on, man? Drew, who's on the team that we had the call with together.
Oh yeah, yeah. What's up, dude?
Dude, he's killing it, by the way.
Yeah,
He's doing
yeah. We
really
took we the Rams took a hard L on Sunday, buddy, but that's all right.
good.
It's,
Okay, so back to the question, really good question, right? So
bro,
bodybuilding
this
is
guy is obsessed with us. So it's crazy.
can't wait to marry you.
Just let him let it go. Just
Whatever.
so
Just
stupid.
entertaining. Yeah, no, it's a good question. Bodybuilding is an expensive hobby, folks. So, is it possible to bodybuild on a budget? Yeah, there it absolutely is. It's going to be boring, but at the bare minimum, most importantly, make sure you can get blood work amongst everything else, right? Whether you're
Yep.
natural or enhanced, obviously, very much so importantly if you're enhanced as well. Um, because you got to know what's going on under the hood for sure, right?
Mhm.
Just for example, if you have like no testosterone, right, and you're trying to make progress, like you're probably in a place where you need to do something to bring that testosterone back before you start seeing a lot of progress, right? Whether that's TRT or like an clomiphene ECG route or something. You know what I mean? Just give an example why that's so important. So at bare minimum, have that. If you're enhanced, at bare minimum, have enough so you can get your health supplements every month. So obviously those two go hand in hand. But beyond that, yeah, I mean, look, if you can afford all that, I mean, you don't necessarily, if you're enhanced and need to run a bunch of gear to make progress, it's more so the other variables that are the most important pieces, which is your diet. And you can make a diet work pretty cheaply, honestly, as a bodybuilder between some mid-quality whey. Like, let's be real, you could buy like gold standard whey at Costco and it's at a pretty good price, and you can always find deals online and stuff. Um, Chicken breast is like not that expensive, right? Like now I'm seeing it mostly around here at $1.99 a pound again, which
Yep.
is prices we haven't seen since before COVID.
Yep.
And like rice is basically free. It's so cheap,
That's true.
and even
And
even
a
pasta.
big bag too. A big
Right.
ass bag.
Right. The big ass bag will last you forever, even if you're
Yeah.
eating a shit ton of rice, right?
Yep.
Fat sources, super cheap, right? Olive oil. So yeah, to answer your question, it's definitely something that you could do on a budget. Yeah, it's going to require a little bit extra money, of course, but most hobbies do, whether that be, gaming, get the next console or the new games, or forget about like
100%.
golf. Like golf is a super expensive hobby.
God. Probably the most expensive one, honestly.
I think actually a triathlon, if you do it appropriately and like have a coach and have
Yeah,
trainers and
wow.
like all that, I think triathlons because the gear is like stupid expensive. Like,
Damn, that's actually a pretty cool thing to look into. Like, what are the most expensive hobbies slash sports to participate in?
yeah. I think golf and the other one are up there. I don't know if
Yeah,
they would have a way to actually track like
right.
bodybuilding because nobody's going to admit
Yeah.
to all the expenses.
No, no, no. Um,
So
yeah, no, it's all obviously really great advice. I would say like if we're factoring in like this individual say pays a coach, right? So let's say you're paying your coach anywhere between two and 300 bucks a month, we'll call it, right? So say that's 300 bucks a month. And then, when it comes to food, like I know Matt and I, at least from the coaching perspective, like we do ask up front, like if there's any foods you really enjoy, right? Like up front, if somebody tells us like, hey, I'm on a budget, like we're gonna say, okay, listen, we'll only have in like five or four or five foods, right? We can make it. You can make your nutrition as simple as possible if you're truly on a budget. Like Matt already said, it's going to be boring, you know what I mean, and it's probably going to get extremely redundant, even more redundant than bodybuilding, in my opinion, and is already right. But like if you literally can only eat like chicken breast, like ground beef and rice and like eggs and egg whites, like you can make it work still. You really truly can. And that's like what, four or five foods, right? Like you really can. And maybe get like a big thing of olive oil. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like for some fats or like some grass-fed butter, and you're gonna be okay, or coconut oil. And like those, we know those things are freaking huge, dude. All those, both those fats.
Yeah,
So like,
honestly, your carbs and your fats are like so inexpensive that
yeah,
no
it's
matter how
unbelievable.
much you use, it's not going to really impact your cost of this hobby. The
Dude,
meat
that
is really
the
the
biggest
most
thing,
expensive.
right? That whole thing, dude, of what's up, Angelo? How are you, bud? Um Sam's right too. Sourdough bread, right? Bagels. Like there's so many different ways. Like if somebody told one of us, like, hey coach, I can only afford $100 in groceries or 150 a week in groceries, like you can make it work. Like we already
Mhm.
said, it's gonna be boring, but it's definitely doable. And then I think, like you already said, dude, like where it's going to get massively expensive is when the gear's involved and growth hormone and all that. But you could do it on a budget for sure. I mean, I think like if you let your coach know, like especially Matt or I, like, hey, because we know how much everything that goes into this shit is, right? Like the back of our hand. Like you just say, like, I have 500 a month or 300 a month to spend on bodybuilding. You could make it work
For sure.
100%.
You
So
know what a good resource is? There's a video that Animal did back in the day with Evan Senapani.
I
It
remember,
was
yeah.
bodybuilding
Uh,
on a budget. And I
Dude,
think they
oh
did
my
a
God.
couple of them. And he
Antoine
would
did
literally,
one, Josh
right.
Halliday. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
so they would just go to the grocery store and they would
Hmm.
show what they buy on a hundred. I think it's like $100 budget or something
Yep.
like that. Yeah, they're pretty cool back in the day.
Yeah, dude, that shit was like from 2010.
Yeah, yeah,
Damn,
dating
dude.
ourselves a little bit.
Some old school shit right there. Yeah. Um, okay, I had a PED question. How do you determine the minimum effective dose for a certain enhancement? So the way I took this was, yeah, if we list out a few PEDs, right? What do we think is the minimum effective dose where it's like it's worth taking versus like if you're gonna only run this dose, just keep it out. It's not worth it. Um, I think we should preface this by saying we are not giving anybody advice on dosages to take. We're not telling them to take any of the compounds, anything like that. I just want to preface it like that because as soon as we say like a minimum dose is 300 milligrams, somebody's
Right,
gonna
right,
fucking do
right.
it. So we're not giving or telling anybody to fucking take anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, good question. And how I go about this is it's absolutely drug dependent, right?
Mhm.
But I don't know how to go about this answer beyond just giving drugs and specific dosages
I
because
know, I know.
I do in my mind know like, hey,
Yep.
if I'm going to start somebody off on MPP, I'm going to start them off at 70 milligrams. Like I'll just call it what it is, right? I'll start them off on 70 milligrams if they've never touched any type of 19 or before,
Right.
anything that could increase their prolactin. Because the last thing we want to do is even realistically, like those who are listening, if you don't know, like 150 milligram dose of NPP is like a low level cycle dose of NPP, but you could still make progress on it. That being
Oh,
said,
100%.
for people like myself, and the reason I got my gyno surgery done is because I started this past year getting extremely sensitive to NPP, where if I even ran 100 milligrams of it, my nipples started to get sore.
Yep.
And I got the surgery a little preemptively because I didn't have much gyno, but like it was definitely happening, right?
Right.
It started it. So that being said, like I'll start somebody really low at like 70. I even started people at 50 milligrams of NPP, see how they feel, and then titrate up. And
Yep.
it may be that we only titrate up a little bit, and it's like, hey, they're making such good progress. We don't need to just keep pushing the compound,
Right.
right?
Right.
But yeah, that's just take that framework and apply that to effectively every drug that we have. Because like me and Steve aren't going to come on here and list every drug and what we think the minimum effective dosage
No.
would be. Because again, this all is very client specific. Just know we take an approach that is as safe as you possibly can when we're talking
Yep.
about using anabolics.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, just importantly, like if you're asking this question in the sense that, hey, I'm going to go experiment with new things, just make sure you have proper guidance, make sure you have blood work, and do the approach of starting very low and seeing how you feel. Like
Yep.
think,
And yeah,
be aware of the side effects.
great advice. Yeah, I didn't know how you were gonna want to take that one, so that's why I said up front, like if we start spitting dosages out, like just nobody takes this shit as advice.
Sure, yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah, because it's like a beginner level question. It's like if we have a bunch of people that are like a little seasoned and have an understanding of all this, we could
Right,
talk more
right.
freely, right? It's just
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't know. We don't want somebody who's a beginner to hear something and then go run with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and at the end of the day, too, dosages are going to be number one, highly dependent on somebody's tolerance and side effects, depending on a compound, like Matt already said. And then also, too, I mean, their level of experience. Like, what is the goal, right? Is your goal just coming to a coach or, like Matt or I, and it's just like, hey, I'm just trying to lose 30 pounds, be healthier, and you get your blood work and your testosterone's crashed? Then it's a lot different. But like, if you're trying to just do one bodybuilding show, probably how we guide you on a, and you're trying to use PEDs, how we guide you on PEDs versus somebody who's like, you could tell is going to be like on a national stage in a year or two and probably fighting for a pro card. It's going to be a lot different. So again, that's also on the side of the beauty of coaching and how everybody's truly different. Like, not the top national guy and the guy who's just trying to look better for the beach, they're not going to be on the same amount of anything because you know what I mean? Because sometimes different goals require different measures,
Oh, fucking course. Yeah. Very well said.
so, so,
Just
um,
have this like beach bod guy blasting it into fucking gear
well,
for no
dude,
reason.
I'm sure, dude, if we went
Oh,
into
oh, it happens
10
all the
public
time.
gyms together, 9 out of 10 of those public gyms will have some guy who doesn't even look like he belongs to the fucking gym blasting fucking more than like a top three classic or open guy.
Yeah, no,
Without
dude. I
question.
mean, yeah, 100%. Like you've gotten people that come to you on protocols, right? We both have
Oh
that.
God.
It's like, wow, I can't believe this.
We were just talking about it before we got on here.
Right, right. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
Good question, though.
Yeah, it was. I have a blood work question. Um, this was a female. She said, so I'm just gonna read her whole phrase. So like she kind of was throwing her coach under the bus. I don't know this female. I don't know who her coach is, so I don't really care. But she said, I've been with my coach 2 years, have not run blood work once. Want to get some done on my own. I know it's pricey, but curious, what blood work markers would you view as non-negotiable for PED users that I should have checked? It's a good
Oh,
question.
yeah, very good question.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously your basic panel that's going to cover like your liver enzymes, your kidney function, like that's a given, of course. So
Yep.
your whole comprehensive panel, you need to get that. Um, Beyond that, non-negotiables, from my opinion, really for anybody, of course, is your thyroid hormones, so TSH and T3 at minimum. If you get reverse T3, great. If you get T4, great. Um, Testosterone, all your sex hormones, testosterone, estradiol, SHGB, FSH, LH, progesterone. Am I missing anything
Prolactin.
there?
Prolactin.
Prolactin.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think C-reactive protein is something that is a non-negotiable as well.
Yep. Very important.
Um, but beyond that, I don't know. Am I missing anything there?
Um, so I would probably throw in like fasting insulin in there just so we have like a baseline if they're even able to have fucking processed carbohydrates at the time. Their A1C, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
I think you said that.
No, I don't know if
No,
that's considered part of a regular metabolic panel or not, but you're
I
100%.
yeah, I would say their A1C, just like double check that. Like I would tell somebody like double check with your doctor if they include that on their coding for a metabolic panel. But definitely that. Trying to think. You said C-reactive protein, which definitely I agree with. Vitamin D, I think is a big one. Um,
How
and
many
then
people have low vitamin D in the
it's
Northeast? It's crazy.
unbelievable, right? And then I would probably say too, just like two, I like to throw in just because like the liver enzymes, AST and ALT, like, and like even at times EGFR, they can get thrown off a little bit from like stress and musculoskeletal stress and dehydration and all that shit, like cortisol. So I would say throw cortisol in there, but also if like a doctor is able to get your homocysteine checked and your GGT, just so like there's another kidney and liver marker for us to see. But that would pretty much be it. And like if they can't get that, then so be it. But definitely like if you're on PEDs, I would recommend asking for those. But like so we just marked like what 12, 15
We're just,
things.
yeah, we give like every single thing.
There's a lot more like
No,
but like
obviously, but like
but like
with regard to what that's
it's
basically
important.
exactly what we prescribe to our
Yeah, it's
clients.
important. Like, and I think like how we answered this question should be an eye opener for many to realize like, okay, it's important. Like you don't want to just go in there and like cheap out on the blood work. If you have to pay out of pocket and you're gonna splurge on anything with bodybuilding, do it with the blood work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And like also if you're like new to any of these drugs, do some research yourself too. Like, don't just rely on the coach. Like, of course,
No.
if you hire somebody, like hire somebody you trust, but don't just like hope that they know what they're talking about, because I could tell you now there are plenty that really just don't. And I've had people come to me, like males that are on Anavar only cycles, and an educated coach should know that Anavar stops your luteinizing hormone to
Yep.
signal your balls to create testosterone. So it effectively shuts down your testosterone production. So running Anavar without a test base is asinine, right? And
How
now
many
that person
fucking
has
people, dude, want to do
like
that? It
yeah,
drives me
yeah, and this
crazy.
it's like this is the type of shit. It's like just do a little bit of research up front. There's a lot of resources out there now, because this shit's important. And
Yeah. God, yeah, that's like the one question that never ages, right? Like, so like what can I take like so I don't have to pin test? Like, can I
right,
take
but
like
it's like,
these
bro, just first
SARMs
off,
or
yeah, first off, don't be a pussy. Just pin yourself. Like, that's the answer to that question.
Yeah. So, and then my last question I had was about it was a peak week question. Um, if for some reason an athlete comes in not what you were expecting one week, but has a second show a week or two after that first one, how do you go about manipulating their peak differently to bring a better look?
Well, it depends on what we needed to improve on
Right.
entirely. All right, if that person needed to be leaner, then we're gonna try to get leaner in those next 2 weeks, right? If it's a week between, there's not a whole lot you could do with regard to
No,
conditioning,
right,
right?
right, right.
But yeah, I mean, it's all dependent on that. If the feedback was they needed to be fuller, we're gonna probably feed them harder. If their
Yep.
feedback was they needed to be drier, maybe we push a little bit more on the condition and try to pull water a little more aggressively or do whatever differently with their water load. Like yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, there's so many different components to and variables to bodybuilding, and especially like that last peak week that like I think a lot of people it's not so clear cut, right? And that's what I think a lot of people don't realize that at least have never been through it the proper way. But like when somebody's in shape, you're a few weeks out, you're less likely to have to manipulate a lot of shit to bring a perfect look. And what I mean by that is when you're already ready to go, chances are your water is going to be able to be kept a bit higher going into the show. And that includes day prior and day of. You're not going to have to fucking do anything drastic with fucking sodium and all this shit, right? And so I guess my message is just get ready early, right? Like we like to have people like if you're ready, be ready by 2 weeks out minimum, right? If you're ready another week or two before that, you're even in a better spot to reverse into the show. But you know, there's so many different variables. Like you said, if someone needs to be fuller, we might maybe it's we need to start loading them a day sooner. You know what I mean? Than we had to. Maybe it wasn't 2 high days. Maybe it was three. Maybe those 2 high days we just need a little bit more food or fats earlier in the week to hold them with the carbs. So there's so much, like you said, so different shit. At that point, like Matt and I know your body like pretty fucking well. So and we're pretty much be able to manipulate whatever variable it is to bring somebody in better, but we don't really miss. And I'm saying that non egotistical as I can.
Agreed.
Fat pictures speak for themselves.
Yeah, proof is there.
Yeah, that's all. So, all right. So what do you got?
Okay. Thoughts on T3 and SLU-PP 332 while in prep for fat loss, benefits, and side effects.
I think they're both great. I think both use them. We both use them for people. Um, T3, I know Matt and I always explain to people more from a health perspective, right? We never kind of throw it at somebody of like, you need to take this to be leaner. In a sense, yes, but when you start to diet down, especially to get in stage shape, male or female, your thyroid is function as food gets lower, as your, metabolic activity gets more and you start, burning more. Your thyroid's going to have to downregulate to match the lower food and all that. So eventually it's just going to get to a point where it's not going to downregulate anymore. It's just going to hold you. And that's when people stall out. So the use of T3 is just pretty much supplementing the thyroid hormone T3 to be able to keep things steady within the thyroid for continued fat loss. And that's why, we pitch it as, hey, this is really going to be implemented in there at a certain point over your prep to keep your thyroid healthy, right? And even post show, right? You got to taper off. That's like one thing that you shouldn't just cold turkey stop because you can really fuck your thyroid up. Um, and then what was the other one?
Yeah.
Slew?
Yep.
Yeah, phenomenal fat burner. I mean, I think it's pretty comparable to Clen without like the jitters, without the extra stress to the heart and the cardiovascular system. Anybody who can't like handle stims like me, I can't take Clen because it fucks with my anxiety, and Slew's a perfect alternative to that. And from the research out there, at least currently with it, I know that it's not like where Clem like people will taper or what is it like they'll cycle 2 weeks on two like that because it attaches quick to the receptor, right? Slew I know is a lot different where you can take it prolonged without having stuff. I mean, I don't really buy into that shit with the Clen. I don't think you do either, right? Yeah, just
No, no, and I've never like I've worked with a handful of people at pretty
yeah.
high levels, and like nobody really tapers on and off the climb.
No, no, no.
But
That's what I'm
but
saying.
the use is so short to begin with. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Um,
right. But
excuse me.
Slew is fucking great.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's really good. It's interesting. There are more things coming out now. It's not a peptide. It's a metabolic agonist or estrogen
Yes,
related receptor agonist, and it's effectively getting into your cells via estrogen receptors and
yes.
causing mitochondrial biogenesis. The more mitochondria you have, the higher your metabolism is, the better you oxidize fat. So it's a fucking solid drug. I've been using it probably for 10 weeks now in a growth phase, and it's definitely helped maintain my body composition for sure.
Yep.
And I have quite a few clients using it now as well, and it's really only I've only gotten positive uh, effects from it for everybody. So
Yeah, it's in short, I think what is it? It enhances like the mitochondrial function, right?
yeah,
Like
it helps you generate more mitochondria.
right, right. So it's great for your energy, metabolism, and all that. It's a hell of a I guess we classify it as a peptide, right? But like it's a hell of a product to use.
Yeah, yeah, that's really good. Yeah, and the same thing with the T3. It's just like an insurance policy on your thyroid function when
It's
you're dieting really
really
hard.
good way to
Like
put.
if you've ever seen somebody, of course, this is also due to lack of willpower from the athlete, but like when you see people just like rebound out of a show and gain so much fucking weight,
Yep.
let's say they did that in the absence of exogenous T3, right? Your metabolism, your basal metabolic rate is in the fucking shit at this point because your
Yep.
body is starving and it does downregulation to mitigate you from dying, right? Makes you require less calories to live. A big part of that metabolic downregulation is the thyroid downregulation, the T3 specifically being one of the hormones that dictates the metabolic rate, so to speak. um that goes in the shitter too. So like you can imagine, your metabolic rate's down here, your thyroid function is down here, and then post show you add in all this fucking food and
Mhm.
eat like a fat ass. Like those are the people that gain like 40 pounds the first month after a show. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
bad, and we've seen it.
Yeah. But to that point, that's just like why using something like a T3 is, like I said, an insurance policy on your thyroid function when you're dieting that hard.
Yeah. And when people say like, "Oh, I'm all natural," this that thyroid T3 is a fucking medication. The doctor will give it to you. So, I don't. It doesn't make you not
They'll
natural.
give you T4 100 times before they give you T3, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah. Why would they give you something that works?
yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. But yeah, yeah. What else you got?
Okay, so that's that question. Thoughts on doing adductions lying down?
What?
Adductions lying down. I don't know how that would be performed unless it was a machine.
What are you doing? Like a fucking snow angel?
Yeah.
Like,
You know what's funny is the person that asked that lives in Alaska, which they probably do. There's a lot of snow angels
Seriously?
out there.
Well, I hit the nail on the head. There you go.
Yeah.
Wait, I
Yeah.
gotta. Is that something I
I
can
know.
lying
There's that one. Yeah, actually look it up. Pull it up in the Zoom if you find it. Well, I
lying
guess
down adductors? What the fuck? Abductors or adductors?
add
Dude, this guy's
my
like
opinion
doing a
on that.
fucking.
I pull it up on the Zoom. Hold on.
Yo, what the fuck, bro? This is fucking weird.
Let me see.
There you go. Right here.
No, no, she's not talking about this. No, there's no way.
This
There's
is
got to be a
lying
machine.
down adductors. Here you go. Like this. You just
No,
squeeze.
no.
How about this one? This is you. This is you in your bedroom at night with the Superman shirt
God,
on.
God
Lie
damn.
on your back with your feet close to your buttocks. Like
All
your
right,
knee.
I've had it with this.
All right, we're done with this. I need a
I'll,
clarification. I really do because
so
I'm
the
genuinely curious.
the only thing you can think is the adductor machine that's kind of like seated, you're kind of laying back. They have that bevs. That one. We'll just answer it with regard to that because that's the only thing I can think, unless there's an actual lying down adductor machine I've never seen
I
before.
need to, if there is, I need to know and I need to see it because I'm genuinely curious.
The snow angel machine, as you call it. So if I think if you sit more upright in an adductor, you're gonna hit more like adductor area of your adductors.
Yep.
So I would answer that question depending on what goal you have.
Yep.
If you're doing it more lying back, I think it's gonna hit more that the like actual adductor that you see when you're hitting like a vertical bicep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or in a rear post.
Go
Angela,
ahead. Go ahead,
of
Angela.
course you can ask a question.
He's a client of mine for a while now. He's a good dude.
While we're waiting for him, I guess I'll just pull up another question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Favorite restaurant for your cheat meal?
God. I like cheesesteaks. So I don't really ever since the one place Peter and Sons around here closed, I don't really have a favorite cheat meal, like a favorite cheesesteak. So it's just like kind of got to dig through one. I actually have the last cheesesteak I had was with you. So
Good too, yeah.
yeah, that steak was fucking delicious, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Um, so that's really yeah, I would say the cheesesteak. I don't mean if I had to pick a chain restaurant, I don't really know, man. That's a good question.
Well, chain restaurant, if we're talking restaurant, chain restaurant, I'm probably picking Texas Roadhouse. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
That or
very good.
cheese that or Cheesecake Factory.
Very good.
Remember when we went to Texas Roadhouse after Universe?
Oh yeah, did we fuck that place up?
I thought I was gonna die that day.
What are the purpose of Winstrol and Anavar, and when are they used and why? For you, Angelo, they're not going to be used for a while.
Is that a question you want to take one on one with him as your client?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he does ask a lot of good PD questions. It's just because he's so new to all of them, and he took a lot of shitty advice from fucking gym bros, and I kind of got him back on like I got him on a good pace finally. Um,
Good.
so he's on nothing now and has made the most progress he ever has. Go figure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A little goes a long way. Your body's fucking receptors are fried.
Yeah.
All right. So, bro, Whataburger is the shit. Can't wait for Matt to try it. I think I might have had Whataburger before. Pretty sure I have, actually.
I
Yeah,
don't.
we don't have those up here. Okay. Dumbest peak scenario you've heard from other coaches.
A dumbest what? Peak?
Peak
Oh,
scenario.
I got plenty of you. Go ahead first.
Um, I guess I'll just call it a couple of things that are asinine that I've heard multiple times as opposed to like any specific scenario. Um, well, one, I've heard people starting diuretics as far as a month out, which is absurd. But even I think
That's crazy.
even starting diuretics a week out. Look, there are many ways to skin a cat. I know some people still use Lasix and stuff, but like that is definitely not our style at all. We're like diazide guys and like herbal diuretic guys. um, so that's one, just overuse of diuretics, and that's probably the most dangerous thing as well, by the way. Um, Beyond that, just digging clients into the dirt literally up until basically show day or like 2 days out. I guess trying to make up for lost ground in terms of fat loss.
Yep.
And then not actually peaking them, just kind of like putting them on stage depleted or force feeding them and they look like shit.
Yep.
Um, and I do have one person I know, good dude, but he basically did like an hour of a sauna every day and depleted his potassium and had to like drop out. That wasn't something he was told to do, I don't think, but yeah, he had to drop out because his potassium like went to shit and he was completely dehydrated.
I wonder why. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard some
so those are just
fucking
some of the crazy things I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard some fucking crazy shit too. Diuretic use, like Lasix at fucking 2 weeks out. Someone cutting their fucking salt with diazide a week out. Um, Loading on egg McMuffins and normal soda like Coke. Oh my God, bro.
Coke?
Yeah, like normal soda.
Dude, put me on the Coke train for full flavor
It's
Coke during peak week.
fucking
Can I can
crazy.
I can I water load with the full flavor Coke?
No, they were drinking like a 2 liter bottle the morning of the show.
That's a whole 2 liter bottle. How many grams of sugar is that?
To
Holy shit.
fucking yeah, like egg McMuffins, not being able to sleep the night before because they're flat and need to load and fill up, or they're eating every fucking hour. Like, just so much crazy fucking shit, dude. Like,
Yeah, you're a rare breed if you need to stay up to eat that much. You likely didn't make weight. You were likely
if the
dying to make
biggest
weight.
motherfuckers in the world, Nick Walker, Samson, Martin Fitzroy, if they don't need to fucking do it,
Well,
I guarantee you, you do not need to do it.
the only caveat to that is for people with weight caps. If you can't eat because of a weight cap for a day,
Yeah,
you might be up that night. If you're competing the next day, you might be up eating that night.
yeah, yeah. I agree. It's
We'll
crazy.
see what happens with Matt Device next week, or 2 weeks,
Yeah, yeah.
10 days, 11 days.
Is it next Saturday?
Oh, yeah, and Gavin, excited, dude.
They're both
Confident in both
When are
of
you
them.
flying out?
Thursday.
Sweet, sweet, sweet,
Okay,
sweet.
sorry. Next question. I'm zoning out. Oh, okay. Condition versus size on stage. Big dude, not conditioned versus little dude, peeled.
Peeled.
I guess it depends on the degree, or what degree are we talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, I just always scale back to Feldman, that big cat.
Oh, well, come on. Feldman's not little, though.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you're comparing a welterweight at 163 pounds peeled going against a big dude, 240, a light
All right,
heavy at
yeah, if we're drawing
198.
that
Just,
parallel, definitely, definitely.
you know?
But I don't think, when I think little dude, I do not think Matt Feldman.
No, me neither. No.
But that's a fair comparison.
Yeah, that's kind of
Uh,
what the. I mean,
okay.
even at Atlantic States, bro, he was 173 pounds. He beat the light heavy and the heavy and that big ass super heavyweight.
Hmm.
You know, best stretches for sore hamstrings: foam roll, Epsom salt. Bend over, touch your toes type thing.
Yeah, agreed on all that.
Yeah, you know.
Um, I wish I knew the name of this, what you're supposed to do in the stretch. I don't, I'm not going to try to explain it. So anyway, um, should I stay on plan for the holidays? Currently not in prep. No, enjoy yourself. But if you're the type of person that overdoes it, then make sure you keep it to one meal. You should know yourself. If you're like actually on plan and follow a plan, you should know yourself, whether you
Yeah,
need some guidelines or like I know the people that I need to give guidelines, and I know the people that I'm just like, hey, bro, enjoy yourself.
100%. Yep, yep. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I always tell people, like, I know we touched on this last year too on the podcast. Stay on your meals, obviously. If you could do like cardio that day, if not, not a big deal. Get your steps in, get your water intake in, get your other meals in, replace one meal or even two, depending on the individual, with whatever that holiday celebration is that day. A lot of people some people will be two meals, I'll tell. Some people might be just be one. And then you just gotta not fuck around with leftovers. That's a big one.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the most important thing. Don't have the holiday turn into the hollow weekend.
Yeah, unless you're my fat ass.
Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Why do you love competing? It's a good question.
Well, I mean, challenges you. It teaches you a lot about your fortitude and your mental strength, and I think that's always been the biggest thing for me and the selling point of why I just always continue to do it through my late teens, early 20s, right? At first, it was like, hey, you got into this because it saved your life. And then after a while. It was just, hey, like the mental challenge that comes with it always was what really steered me back to just wanting to do it year after year after year. Because I don't know, when I was like 4 weeks out, and like it's the hardest point, and you're like getting leaner and leaner. You see your hard work start to pay off, but you also just, it's such a mental challenge. And I always just thrived off of that. I always, obviously the last 4 years not competing were just different, having to get my coaching underway to provide a livelihood for family. And then obviously starting a family and having kids, lingering injuries that became more major, my knee, now my shoulder, and like getting those fixed up. So now in my early 30s and into my mid 30s, I can push it again and be able to do it again, full throttle, because me and you aren't half-ass type of dudes, so
Great.
yeah.
Yep, I agree with all that with regard to like challenging yourself and the discipline aspect as well. It's like when you are so structured in the program, it seems like everything else in life kind of falls in place, you know?
Yep.
Um, so why do you love it? I think everybody's born with natural talents, right? And bodybuilding was the first natural talent that I realized I had at a young age when I started training at 16. And it helped me build a lot of self-confidence.
It's a good one. Yeah.
And that's why I love it, right? I know I was born with just it's like in my blood, I'm a very good bodybuilder and a very good coach.
Yep.
And it's like effortless, it's just all joy. I'm very confident in my work, both as an athlete and a coach. So yeah, so I love it.
Hey man, G Bowl, just shoot me a DM, dude.
We got a question about the hardest thing you've had to overcome as coaches and bodybuilders.
um Good
I
question.
think as a bodybuilder for me, uh, the hardest thing I'd overcome. I mean, this last prep was fucking hard. I mean, this whole year has honestly been the hardest year of my life. Um, and in prep, it was just really challenging having, my own prep, a high level career in the software industry, and my own clients. And I had multiple people competing and in prep while I was in prep, while I had obligations that require travel for work, on top of just my business growing, like managing all that. Like there were points where like I broke, and I was like, oh fuck, I've bitten off more than I can chew in this life. And I just fucking had those moments of weakness and then pushed through it. And I had a successful season for sure.
Sure did.
And I've had a very successful season as a coach and a business owner. And I've had some success in my career. I made a switch to a new job that's much better. That
Yep.
you know don't know how much longer I will be doing, but just given the growth of my own business, but time will tell. So yeah, like pushing through all that. And I mean, I had like the prep was rough, right? Like my dog died the weekend I went away to Indy. I had to put her down, and I had to go travel to Dallas and present in the quarterly business review. The same week, it was peak week for Chicago, so I had to go from Dallas to Chicago and couldn't get into my Airbnb at midnight, right? Like I had to park fucking 6 blocks down the road in Chicago. Like, it was just absolute fucking misery. Honestly, my prep was absolute fucking
uh
misery.
I feel like I was there with you every day through
Yeah, you were. I mean, we were on the phone every single day. So,
Yeah, fuck, dude. Yeah, it was right. And then, you capped it off. And I think the coolest thing about seeing that was the last show when you got in the second call out, right? Or in the first, and you were on the end. And then, like, every pose, they kept moving you in a little bit more. It was pretty cool.
oh, bro, that was like the fucking best feeling in the world
It
after
was it
all
was
of
pretty
that.
cool
Because
to see.
I was this fucking close. Oh, and on top of all that, I tweaked my bicep that I had torn earlier in
Yep.
the year and got repaired. I tweaked it the day after Indy, and I could barely train upper for the whole 3 weeks leading into Chicago
Yep.
while I'm dealing with all this bullshit, right? And I had people compete at Universe that fucking the week between, one of the weeks between my two shows, right? Like all of this, right? Yeah, it was fucking brutal, absolutely brutal. But John, I appreciate that, and I agree with you.
Yeah, man. It was a good question, dude. For me, God, dude. Um, for me, the biggest thing as a competitor was probably when my parents were getting divorced and we had to buy a house and then lost the house. You know what I mean? it's just a bunch of shit piled on after another, like major life things, right? And you kind of just have no choice to tell people, but you either quit and give up, or you just wake up every day with a brand new, perspective on things and put one foot in front of the other. That's literally your only two fucking options, And I think through like all the shit we've been through and like what we're talking about, you kind of learn that, you know what I mean? Um, what else are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Life's gonna throw you shit, and how you navigate those shit storms is how you really get better, right? And stronger, especially mentally. And I think that's the most important thing, right? I think physical strength will follow mental strength in a lot of scenarios and cases. So, and then it's in terms of like as a coach, I mean, just being broke and having to pretty much get better as a coach and make it like with like no other option, or like we're just gonna be broke. You know what I mean? So I think that would be the biggest, thing. And obviously over the last 6 years of coaching and doing it, there's little challenges I feel like along the way, but nothing, knock on wood, thank God, nothing major. But I think more or less just little challenges that make you into such a a better coach, but also a better man and a better human being. So I think like those little challenges along the way, kind of challenge you in good ways. So
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, everything's a learning experience. I could do fucking anything after this year.
yeah, God, yeah, amen, dude, amen. It is very rewarding. I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, John's peaking his wife this week, so it's really good.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Good luck. Good luck.
And he has another competitor competing too, Vince Physique guy.
Nice. Good luck to everybody.
John's doing RGV with me in August,
Oh,
actually.
okay. Nice, nice,
Yeah,
awesome.
it's a pro am show, so it's great because I'm going to be there a couple days early. I'll be able to peek him in person.
When is it?
I think it's the last weekend in August.
Okay, I was gonna say maybe I could do that. The